Okay, the meeting of the Auburn Housing Authority Board of Commissioners for July 8th, 2025 is called to order. This meeting is being recorded. Is there anyone in attendance who is also recording the meeting?
No.
May I have a roll call? Please state your name as we go around the table. I'm Laurie Brennan, the Executive Director of the Housing Authority.
Wayne Page, Chairman.
Vice Treasurer?
Rose Jennifer.
Sorry, Rose. Paula Melican, member?
Lonnie Hathaway, member.
Okay.
Wendy Steinholder, member.
Okay, can we have the Pledge of Allegiance?
Yes.
Pledge
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, we need to do the reorganization of the board. Can I have a nomination for chairman of the board?
I'm gonna make a nomination for Wendy for chairperson.
Okay, is there anybody that's gonna second that?
No, can I nominate also?
No,
That's not-
No,
that's not-
we wait till
that's
the
what-
middle time.
Wendy.
Is there a second?
Can you not second Wendy?
I can't second, I nominate
Oh.
myself,
And I can second.
yes,
Okay, can we do that?
yes.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 What,
Yes,
no,
it passes.
wait,
Wait a minute, what's
wait
going
a
on?
minute.
Yeah,
Wait.
No,
No, yes. Don't start,
Don't
Wendy.
you start.
Don't
I
you start.
nominated
You keep
myself,
running
she
your mouth.
seconded,
You
and
keep running
there's
your
three
mouth.
of us.
No,
She's
she
not
made the
voting for you.
nomination first. She made the nomination first.
She asked the question and she can't.
She made
She
the
made the
nomination
nomination
first.
Right.
first.
All right.
You cannot second.
No second,
Right.
right?
So you
Okay.
just,
So are we able
Yeah.
to switch it so she nominates
cannot-
herself?
Yes, the second time we can, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so clearly, once again, there has been kibitzing in the background because I saw the way you looked at her when she did that. So here we are
oh,
again.
here we go.
Here we are again.
Okay,
This,
You got
and
something?
Wayne, further, I would like a formal apology from you for you telling me to shut up on the board last time. as
I
well.
did,
Was not,
Yes, you did.
it wasn't.
I did.
No, it was,
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Rose,
Okay.
you want to say something?
I'm not gonna participate in
I
this
think
shit.
Wait, you don't feel
Oh,
comfortable.
yeah, you
All
can.
right, I nominate Wayne Page for chairman of the board.
I made a complaint to Ed
I need a
Augustus, and-
Got a second?
No second. Oh, go ahead. Yeah. You see him looking at you shaking? Yeah.
Yeah.
No. See,
Okay,
this is what happens.
So we don't have a consensus on a chair.
we do. We have a
No, we
motion,
don't.
a second,
We have to make.
and
a
all in
motion.
favor, all,
Okay.
the three of us.
I'm done with this clown show. You people are ridiculous. You've kibitzed in the background like you always do.
I don't even know the
You
girl.
always do, yeah.
What do you mean? I don't even know the
No,
girl.
but she was put up by Lori, right? You
No, I
were
was not.
suggested
I
to.
did not.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
You and Betty go, I have had enough of you people and
Okay.
your bullshit.
Huh?
Wendy,
Have a good day, Wendy.
No, don't you have it anyway.
I will. Especially now.
maybe some of this could have been avoided
So I
by
am-
simply apologizing for last.
I did
You
apologize.
didn't apologize during the meeting.
I think you needed more than that, because it,
What do you want me to do?
be away.
Fire
Simply
roses?
No, just simply have sent an email,
This is
or,
You should
you
do
know,
this.
a letter with copies to us, or something, that's all. And I could have moved beyond it, that's
Sorry.
all. I mean, we all have episodes where we get emotional and we need to apologize. I can't
I
tell you the number of
apologize
times.
right here at the meeting, and I'm not going any further.
Well, that.
And now that I'm chairman again,
Well, no, I mean,
yeah, she made the motion,
made
she
the-
seconded it,
But then at first it was.
then all,
yeah, you,
So
I
I'm
think
very-
that,
I
I
that
think
was all
the
messed
should
up.
be excused
I
at this
think,
meeting. She isn't unsure. And I,
She isn't unsure. She
She's
made her,
unsure.
she said,
She
well,
seconded
there was two statements.
Yeah.
One was with
Wendy.
with Wendy.
which was wrong, but go ahead,
And
No, but-
one was with Wade,
right.
but it was within the conflict of what am I going to say?
Yeah, I think you
Absolutely.
were agreeing.
I'm agreeing based
Agreeing.
on,
I don't think she was seconding or voting. I'm not taking a stand here.
because I thought we were
Okay.
all gonna go
I'm
around.
just saying that this could have been done differently. Are we still recording?
Yes.
Yes, okay. This could have been done differently, and I don't think she should be in a position of voting her very first meeting.
Of course she
Maybe I'm
is.
wrong. Well,
Yeah.
okay,
She's a member, she has
You
the
voted
right.
your very first meeting.
okay, I'm just simply making a statement, because I think there's been some confusion. You know,
Oh, you're correct.
I think,
You're correct.
I say you and Wendy are making it confusing.
don't do that to me, Wayne.
What,
Don't
don't
do
do what?
that.
I'm just telling you.
How will we make it confusing? If we had been,
Because she's blaming people for supposedly talking to other people or something, I don't
Did you
I
have,
have not had a conversation with Lori in months.
that's fine.
Which
We
is
need
great.
clarification.
Well, there you
That's
go.
all, okay?
and accusing me of kibitzing?
But
Yeah.
it was the way you reacted because it was in that moment, and then she
Yes.
thought that when you looked at me,
Yes.
I was supposed to say something.
I think-
That wasn't the case.
Yes, you were agreeing.
I was
and
literally
you were
trying to figure
sure
out what
to
was happening
I'm,
because you got
Okay.
upset and then you
Could
got
you-
upset.
I would like a change, that's all. I think there's too much emotion here,
But it's not,
and I'm not, it's not personal, Wayne. It's
I
a
don't care, but you
change.
can't make a
Can't
change. You're a
And
one
just tell me
person.
that then, tell me that
You can't.
politely,
polite, okay.
okay? That's all. If I'm wrong,
Paula, you can't,
hallelujah, okay?
you can't.
Thank you for
Okay,
defining that for
we
me.
just start over.
What
Well,
about,
I'll be all right, but as long as everybody else is, I'm
I'd like
no
no
problem
one
with
is
that.
out to get you, Wayne.
I'd
But
like
Wendy
to
went crazy.
I'd like a nomination for chairman
There
of
you
the
go.
board,
Can I
I
abstain?
nominate Wayne Page for chairman of the board.
if you want to.
Yeah, I'd like some breathing room here. I mean, we're not I'm expressing, did you look at the prior meeting at all?
A little bit.
Okay. I don't know where to go from here, honestly, except
I
to
think-
think a need a change, that's all. And
Well,
I'm expressing my
you know,
confusion.
Okay, I'd like
So
a
you got the vote.
nomination for
Nomination.
chairman of the board.
In a second,
I nominate Wayne Page.
second. Alright. Okay,
Are
she
you
seconded.
seconding?
I'm
Yeah.
seconding.
All those in favor?
Aye,
Aye.
so be it.
Okay?
And Paula
I
You
abstained.
okay with that, Paul?
Saying
Yes, it's a legitimate legal
Respectfully.
process, absolutely.
Okay,
Yep.
now, let me ask you something.
Sure.
Have you completed the board
No.
member training?
I have not, and I apologize, and I
This has
appreciate,
been,
I have no
Well, then-
laptop, and I've expressed.
Paula, we've asked you
Yeah,
to
sure.
come in here.
Yeah, and I have
And
come in here,
we're more
and I
than
did the
willing.
first, I will be in, I am
This
sorry.
has been since November. You had 90 days. You
I
haven't been in
agree.
since March.
Mhm.
We have been more than willing to
Yes,
help
you
you,
have,
and we liked having you here.
and I enjoyed being here, but you remember the last time I came
With
in
the croissants
with,
though.
with
We
pastries,
can't
and your
accept
reaction.
pastries.
Of course you can.
No, we
I've
cannot.
been on multiple boards over the years. You can
But not our
accept,
board. We
well,
don't accept anything
that
from
was not-
anybody.
that wasn't the I mean, your reaction to my coming in was actually slightly concerning. I came in with a big smile on my face, I've always felt welcomed here, and you were extremely upset that and this was after the
Because I
meeting
had
with
asked you before not to bring anything in, because you had told us about the bakery. We can't accept things.
I think that's a bit extreme. It was just a gesture of kindness, you know,
It's-
items that,
No. This
I belong to boards
It's-
where I
There's ethics,
brought
ethics issues.
refreshments other times.
No, I
Okay, well, I
understand
felt
that.
a bit put off by that,
And I was
your
upset
reaction.
because you wouldn't listen to me. I don't want
Oh,
us to accept anything.
Okay, well,
Excuse me, can we please follow up and do our meeting?
yes,
I mean, we don't need
yes,
this.
I will gladly,
back
I
and
will
forth.
finish up that training very shortly, and I thank you for giving me access to the laptop.
You certainly can, and we'll
I
help you with the
I agree.
training.
Okay,
Yes, yeah, Betty has, no complaints, I'm just looking for
But we-
clarity.
We got whacked for that because
Well, then call me up and say you put me in a
In a
very
bad
personal
spot.
position. You know I have a disabled daughter, I have 2 grandsons with autism, I'm doing my best, no excuses, you wouldn't have heard that unless you brought it up again.
okay.
I will finish it,
I just wanna make sure
Okay, can
that
we-
you know we can help you finish it.
absolutely, you've done it in the
Okay,
past,
we're
this is
done.
all on me.
okay?
Yep.
Moving on. Public comment. Any public
No, we
comment?
have to finish the rest of the board. We have to
Oh,
go back.
oh, hold on, sorry. Oh, we need, what do you need now?
We need a vice chair.
Vice Chair.
Oh, vice chair. Anybody make a
I
motion?
nominate Amani Hadway. And I forget what his
It's okay,
name.
you said it
Okay,
good.
as Vice Chairman.
Thank you.
We need a second.
I'll second that, yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? None. Done. And what do we need, treasurer?
We have a nomination for treasurer.
You can nominate yourself.
She can't nominate herself.
Oh, well, can I
I
nominate?
nominate
Yes, you
Rose
can.
Turner for.
Oh, never mind.
treasurer.
Okay, thanks, Paula.
Yeah, I didn't know if she wanted to do it again.
All in favor? No, she nominated, I need a second.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? None. Thank you.
And
Sorry, it's a little confusing today.
Yeah. Threw me off.
and we need a vice treasurer.
I'm
What?
vice treasurer, I'm not great on money, but
I'll second.
you help me.
Yeah.
Okay.
We need a second.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Opposed? None.
Opposed, none. So there's our board.
Okay,
All right.
What do we do about Wendy's status?
She's still.
nothing.
Okay, okay.
She'll
Just
be-
left the meeting today is what we're saying. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, if there's nothing, she left.
Alrighty.
Okay, back to, public comment.
Okay, the public comment time is 5 minutes.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Amani, I would like to congratulate you on the position. And I pray that you do what the selectman said and really work for the tenants. Because there is few to none that are working for the tenants here. Can I have your name and number to post?
I-M-A-N-I.
IA.
I-M. M as in Mary.
Yep.
A-N-I. H-A-D-A-W-A-Y.
Yep.
774-708-9316.
Thank you.
Not a problem.
And I understand Wendy's concern because Amani said to the selectmen, Wendy, Lori and Betty set me down to talk to me about being a tenant rep. They think I would make a good tenant rep, and that's exactly when the vote was claimed, when she said that.
I never sent anybody down. And the only one that I had a conversation with
Are
about
you
the
calling a new member a liar already?
I only had a conversation with Betty, not with Lori.
I believe you said Lori and Betty, and I will look at the tape
You
to
can-
find out.
Can we move on? We don't sit here and have arguments, please.
I'm not here to argue with you.
Okay, I
I'm
know.
here to make a few points.
I'm not arguing with you, I'm just saying you don't need to argue with
All I
other
have to
members.
say
Go
is,
ahead.
I
Let
did
her-
not have
let her
a
speak.
conversation with mine.
The people at Packagug Village are extremely upset. They want to talk to you. They're still waiting for this board to bring a meeting up there. They would like a meet and greet because we haven't had that before.
We have in the past.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
I wasn't here.
Yeah, well,
We
I
could
think
do
it's a
one.
good idea. Yeah.
Well, it's been suggested for months and I've been ignored.
Well, we got,
But anyway, you never apologized to me when you told me to shut up and called me a liar.
I'm not apologizing to you.
I am
After
recording
what
all
you
this.
said at the selectmen's meeting and everything else about me,
And about me?
never happened.
I-
You
I-
got a girl to quit from this board.
I did not get a girl to quit.
Yes, you did.
No, I
who,
didn't.
who you
Are
think?
we done with this?
Yes, we're done.
I've been, the last meeting was about 3 months ago. And I am assuming that you as chairman, you told me you would look into my situation. You've had plenty of time to do that, and I'm wondering if you did.
Yes, we have looked into your situation.
I'm talking to the chairman. Thank you.
I'm sorry, but I forgot what the thing was. If you could remind me, I'll follow up on it.
You were given a copy of my whole paperwork.
Oh, your whole paperwork, okay. I'm sorry, no, I have not at this time.
I did contact Ms. Pope.
Mhm.
And as it turns out, Betty was not honest with her. Betty told Ms. Pope I was looking for names and phone numbers of the people ahead of me on the federal list. And then Betty sent me a letter that I have right here telling me that I am not allowed to have what I asked for, which was only dates and timestamps of people ahead of me. I never asked for personal information because I knew what Ms. Pope had told me.
Do you have a letter to that effect, Terry, with Ms. Pope saying, because I've been unable to reach her?
And I'm,
Because she no longer works for HUD.
Oh, so
Oh.
the number
She
I
no
have
longer
isn't
works for
valid.
HUD. Abraham, and
Abraham Mitnick,
I'm
I've spoken to him too.
Okay.
he also is no longer at HUD.
So what about Ben Stone?
Ben Stone is state.
I can still talk to him. And I can still talk to Evelyn. And I want the names of whoever is in charge of federal.
We're waiting for that too. They were laid off. They were laid off.
See?
They were our contact people
Well,
and
anyway,
they were laid off.
Betty sent me a letter saying, we are not required to give you the dates and timestamps that you requested. So she knew what I was looking for, not the names and phone numbers of people, the dates and timestamps. Because according to Ms. Pope, this director does not have the right to keep pushing me aside and pushing me aside. I've been on that list for over 5 years. The people she's been placing have been on the list for 1 year, 3 years.
But because in the federal program, we're housing veterans, they go to the top of the list.
And you don't get to push me aside for the rest of my life. That's why she told me to get the dates and timestamps, because you're not supposed to be placing people that applied a year ago when I applied over 5 years ago.
If they're a veteran, Terry, they go to the top of the list. So
I'm
anytime
telling
a
you what
veteran
Ms.
comes.
Pope told me, who happened to be the director at that time, and I wish this board would look into this director who doesn't seem to want to do her job. Because this board is touch and go on that also. This is ridiculous. You have said to me, oh, Terry, don't worry about it. Someday we won't have a war and then we won't have any more veterans.
I never said that.
You're always right.
You did say that.
Stop
Hold
lying.
it, hold it.
Stop.
You did
I
say
never
that.
said that. Never said that. Keep lying.
I'm not, I have no reason to lie.
Yeah,
You
you
want-
do.
Can you move on, please?
Yes.
Yes, I'm telling you that I am going to, if I have to go to Boston, I will get the correct information. Because Ms. Pope was very helpful and this office is not. They won't even tell me where I am on the list. And I'm telling you that it is the law that she does not get to just keep pushing me aside and pushing me aside. That's not how it works. I'm
Okay.
not gonna be on the list for 10 years and she's placing people that have been on there for 6 months. How ridiculous is that?
Okay, you got
That's not, they don't
1
have a
minute, Terry.
That's right.
So if you got something you really need to get out, or you can wait until the next meeting, whatever you want.
Or I can wait till the end of this meeting.
Oh, shit, yeah. Sorry?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's true.
The things that are going on with this director are called discrimination. There is no transparency with this board, with this office, and I am tired of it. And I am gonna fight you tooth and nail. What she's doing to me, none of you would ever put up with having your parents treated this way. And my sons have had it. they've had it. People get transferred, people get put in there, it's absolutely ridiculous. Do you know, apartment number 60, there's a couple of empty apartments, by the way, in state that you can go look at.
Oh, okay.
Apartment number 64 has not been lived in for almost 2 years.
That's not in state.
No, it's a federal.
Federal, yeah.
You still are not supposed to be gone. She took her mailing address and put it to her mother's house, which is in Auburn, because she's taking care of her mother. But she never goes back to her apartment, and she recently put in for an extra 6-month extension. So you have apartments there that people don't live in.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Yes, you do.
No, actually, I don't.
God.
She has not put in for a 6-month extension. So you're speaking about something you know nothing about.
And I'm telling you, I got it from the horse's mouth, so you don't know what you're talking about. You've got number 64 with nobody living in it. That's true, isn't it, Rosie? Nobody lives there,
She's been gone for a while.
almost 2 years, which is
She goes
illegal
back every once in a while
for a day. She doesn't get her mail there. You've got another woman in state who has a bedroom with a bed in it. There is nothing in the living room. There is nothing in the kitchen. And she also does not have mail delivered to her. They can't put it in the box because there's no name. And
Okay,
you talk about people that, oh, so many people need apartments, da 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 da. Nobody's doing their job. This is,
okay, Terry, could you just sum it up for now and then you can come back after? On
I'll
the,
sum it up for now. I am
Okay.
sick of being slandered when I come here. I am sick of being called a liar. I have no reason to lie. And things need to change. This board is supposed to be the boss of this director, but this director, since her mom died, never goes up to the village.
You have no idea when I'm there.
No, you don't, because you come in at midnight,
okay,
but that's.
I'd like to move on with the meeting.
I know.
You can
My
come back,
best. We'll come back.
okay?
What are all the minutes?
What's the matter?
We're gonna vote on the minutes.
Minutes.
Yeah. So, number 1 is to approve the minutes of April 1st, 2025. Do I have a motion?
I have a motion.
I need a second.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, she got one abstain because she couldn't vote.
Do we put that, is it that?
Yeah, she wasn't there.
She wasn't there.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry, I thought you were, to Wendy's chair, I'm going like, my Robert's.
Oh,
That's all right. It's okay. Everybody's gotta calm down.
Yep.
Okay. Did we do the vote?
Yes.
Okay.
See it?
Is, vote number 2 is to approve CFA 5,100 amendment number 11 for $763,839.73. May I have a motion, please?
I have a motion.
Do I have a second?
Just give me a minute. I'll second that.
Sure. You second it, Paula?
Yes.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? None.
Nope.
Well, right back at it.
When is a good time for me to, I have some questions?
Oh, go now.
Is
Go,
now
go.
okay? I didn't
Yes.
want me to wait. I'm sorry.
No,
It's okay.
go ahead.
This is just because I'm, not processing as fast as I should. Tell me why we didn't have meetings, the last couple, we didn't have a full
We didn't have a
board,
full board.
was the last one. And what was the reason for the one before that?
We were waiting for,
Both of them were
The
due to not
appointment?
having a full.
Yep.
We knew, when did Sharon's term
May.
expire?
May
May 20,
20th. Election day, Paula.
Oh, of course, okay, thank you. Why didn't we have an April meeting then?
We had an April meeting, April
We
first.
did.
That's the one for these, okay.
Yeah.
So it was May, because of Sharon's, we didn't have it, and June was.
Because we're waiting for Amani to
An
get
appointment.
appointed.
Okay, I felt like I didn't get, I was waiting for meetings, and perhaps that's my lack of knowledge, but I felt like,
We were waiting to see what the town was gonna,
okay.
We did
there were a
generally-
couple
I
of
wasn't, yeah, I wasn't
dates.
sure we did, okay, that's one. And, you had a visit from Mr. Augustus?
Yes, we did.
I know other towns had reception, you knew he was coming, right?
We knew like the day before that he was
Okay,
coming. We
because I
didn't-
found out from
Mhm.
Wayne, what, was it town meeting?
Town
night?
meeting,
And you
yeah.
found out from our, at that time,
From some-
acting town manager.
Yes.
So you
Town
only had a day's notice. Because I know other towns had receptions.
We did not have a
I
reception.
know,
He met with staff
uh-huh,
and he was here for, what, maybe an hour?
maybe short of that.
Just sort of that.
Okay,
He's made a commitment to visit
Yes.
all the housing authorities in the state.
I saw him.
And he had gone
at
to,
acting.
Hillary,
Oh, sorry.
he had gone to one other town before us and then
Grafton?
came.
Yes,
I think it was Grafton, and I saw him out in public and spoke to him, and he was heading to Holden that day. Okay, and I didn't have any information, all right, so we didn't have much notice on that, huh? Are we obligated, are you obligated to tell people their location on the housing list?
That, I asked that. I was
Okay,
gonna
yeah.
say too. Oh, how can they get information?
We had,
from us?
if they're on CHAMP, there's a CHAMP inquiry form
Yes,
that they fill out,
okay,
That's
And-
state, right?
that state.
State,
And
yeah.
Albany turns around and gives them all the information they need on CHAMP. And on the federal side, does the same thing. We have a waiting list.
right,
At the top of the waiting list are the veterans. Auburn
Yep.
veterans come first, then veterans from everywhere in the country come second,
uh-huh.
and then it goes down to date and time.
So as people, let's say, would see veterans being placed in available apartments, it seemed to me that it would be only fair that they would then say like, where am I now?
And they can call, Terry has asked on multiple occasions to where she is on the list. But Terry's reality is that anytime a veteran comes in here, if they're an Auburn veteran, they'll go to the top of the list.
Yep, you said
And then veterans from
anywhere
everywhere.
else.
And then Terry
Should
is,
have joined the military.
well, and Terry's, unfortunately, Terry is down here. So anytime a veteran comes in that door, they're
Yes,
gonna go ahead of her.
yeah, that's true. It's
Regardless of
frustrating,
how
isn't it?
many years she's been on the list.
I'm not saying it's not, but I'm relating to someone who hasn't gone that route and, you know, needs housing and needs affordable housing. I mean, you know what occurs at my housing.
I mean, we're still having World War II veterans come in the door.
Really?
They can't afford their home.
Yeah,
they
and
can't
that's
afford their
absolutely
bills.
legitimate.
My
I am
grandparents are
not.
still on the list.
You're what?
My grandparents are still on the list.
So they're not in housing here, you're here.
It's only me. I was on the list for, my daughter's gonna be 9. I was on the list for 7 years.
Wow.
So it does go.
Yeah, but
Veterans,
slow,
it-
yeah, no, I am
it
not, I
sucks,
wanna
but-
make it very clear, I am not questioning the accessibility of veterans to housing at all, you know, no, my
And
goodness.
as housing gets tighter,
Yeah.
it's getting
worse.
even harder. So we had voted to keep the veterans at the top of the list in the federal side
Which is
to help the veterans.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
And on the state side, the homeless go to the top of the list
Oh, yeah.
to help the homeless.
Yes, and those shelters are closing down.
The shelters are closing down.
One last question, and you brought it up, in regard, did we increase our federal veterans units recently?
No,
No, okay. I think that's something that actually Terry might have brought up
no,
one time.
we did not
Maybe no?
increase them.
Okay, so there's no, all right.
We have 60 units out here
Mm-hmm,
that are federal.
Yeah.
And we have 31 in the back of Packagug
mm-hmm,
that are
Yeah.
federal. And then we have 12 family units at Pine Brook Court that are federal. And they all have veterans preference first,
okay. So there's been no,
only in federal.
okay,
And then we have 12 20 units at Pheasant Court, that's covered under Champ.
Mhm.
And then we have 59 units at Packagug Village, and that's covered under Champ.
Okay.
And that we have 8 units at Auburn Heights that's covered through the alternative program to house the disabled at Maple Drive.
Okay, yeah, no, I was just questioning availability.
We don't have a lot of units. We
No.
really don't. So it's like, it's kind of between the homeless and the veterans and the disabled, mentally challenged.
Mhm.
That's what we're housing first. But some veterans need a first floor, and we don't have a first floor, we have a second floor, so the list keeps moving until we can find somebody. So if we don't have any veterans that qualify for the floor that we have available, then it could move down to the list, the date and time list. And that's the other thing with federal, it's date and time. And that's what Terry keeps asking about with the date and
Yeah.
time.
Times, yep,
But it's fluid, because as a veteran comes in, she may not move on that list.
yes,
That's true.
She may not, because of the amount of veterans that need housing. And we're still housing elderly veterans, we're not housing even the kids that are coming back from war,
I would think that would be the higher percentage, the elderly veterans.
elderly
Yeah.
veterans.
I mean, I think of my
we-
era as Vietnam and,
We still have a couple World War II, I mean, my father-in-law was 96 years old, World War II, so we have fewer World War II, but now we're going into Korea, and we're going into
Yep.
Vietnam.
that's right.
And we're seeing more of those. And we're finding veterans that are leaving like Julia Bancroft housing or Mary D housing and are coming to Auburn housing because they're veterans.
Mhm.
So the Auburn veterans are gonna go to the top of the list.
But I'm assuming you can relate, like, I'm just gonna paraphrase a chat I had with Terry, and I told her I understood her frustration, but my priority on her behalf was not to get her a new apartment. Terry, I've said this to you a couple times, right?
Correct.
My priority is for tenants to feel they are being heard. So we have people with some disability, some cognitive issues, some emotional regulation issues. And then we have just the overall frustration of trying to get housing. This is an expensive area to live in. So that's what my goal is. I want people to feel that they have a question and it's being answered. And I'm not saying they're not. This is my role on this board.
Terry's last appearance kind of fell through the cracks because we lost our representatives at HUD due to the,
Yeah, I didn't realize they were gone, okay, because I called.
both of my Abraham and Ty got laid off. They lost their jobs when they made those cuts. I have still not heard of who, one of them is still there, but he doesn't deal with this. They haven't introduced me to the person that would have replaced Abraham or Ty. So it's like, we've reached out to them, but we haven't received any notification as to
There may not be a
who they
replacement.
are. So we're kind of stuck until we figure out who it is that can help her. Because right now, Terry, there isn't anybody. There isn't anybody that can really help me with the questions that I have to ask. So we're kind of in limbo until they get the people moved around. Because they didn't hire anybody else, they just moved people. So that's why there's been a delay on your end. We can get you a list, I don't know it's gonna be any different than the last list that you got, but
I never got a list. I was told it was not legal to send me that list.
Okay,
well,
can we move on?
Yeah, those are the questions I have, thank you.
Okay, public comment. Are you coming up, Terry?
Are you done with the meeting?
No,
Yes.
public comment.
You want to come back up 5 minutes?
Yeah.
I don't understand everything you're saying. Number one, I am all for veterans. My husband, my ex-husband, excuse me, my sons, my father, my grandparents, I have a niece, a grandson, they're all been through the services. I respect veterans. My son is now a lieutenant in Worcester, on the Worcester Force, after giving, and whether you choose to consider me a veteran or not, I lived the Army life. I went to Germany with my husband. What I want to know is, you have decided that the back of Packagug should be federal. That's your rule. That's not a federal rule. The rule is state is veterans' preference.
Oh, no way.
That's a rule from the state. It's not a rule from the federal government that federal is veterans' preference. That's a Lori rule. I don't understand it. Why would you make every bit of housing a veterans' preference?
Because they need it.
That was voted on by the committee, way back, and I was the one to add it.
It was
I
voted
made
on
the-
last November when
I
you
was-
came.
I
She
made
had
the
to
motion.
vote on that.
She didn't have me vote on
Yes,
it.
she did.
It
And
was
that's
done
also
right-
on
It was when you
TV.
first came on the board.
Yeah,
No, it was the second time, just the last time that he came on the board, and you nudged him at the end of the meeting and you said, what about the veterans? You need to make the back Packagug veterans.
It was our.
It's on TV, Lori.
I think that's great.
But
But it
it was
makes
our.
everything, all of the housing in the Auburn Housing Department, it makes it all veterans' preference. That does not seem right to me. Because the state has the state law saying it's veterans' preference, but the federal government does not. That's a law Ms. Brennan decided to have. I've been lied to, I've had so many games played with me. I can never get an answer from this office. I called and asked for an adult conversation meeting with this director, and I was told they will set up a meeting for me with her lawyer. I don't talk to her lawyer. I have no reason to talk to her lawyer. But I'm gonna be talking to mine.
Terry, you
Because-
said you want.
You know what, Rosie, if you wanna go back to what you said at one of the last meetings, when I applied at the age of 61, I applied for both state and federal. And that's why you got federal. Well, you know
I was
what?
in the military then.
I don't care.
No, that's
You
the
just,
problem.
it was just a transfer. And you didn't reapply for federal. I applied
on the federal list.
14 years
I
ago.
was on the federal list.
14 years ago, I applied for state and federal.
But you're not,
But once you accept a state apartment, you're knocked off that federal list.
no,
So,
no.
is
I-
that
I
not
had
true?
it made up. No,
So I've been on the list for 14 years.
no, but you can't go ahead of the veterans.
What do you mean? It's one way for her, but it's not for me.
How do you know her business?
She said it.
Wants to say something.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, the whole problem is that she's a veteran. Either way,
No
if
matter
you
how you
are,
look at
no
it.
matter how you look at it, no matter how long you're on the list, veterans comes first.
I understand that, but there is no need to make all of Auburn housing,
Mm-hmm.
state and federal, veterans preference.
Do we have minutes from that meeting with the increase in housing for veterans preference?
I've recommended that we update the policy for veterans. That's why we did it recently. That was on HUD's recommendation, and HUD approved the policy for veterans. That's why it was redone.
And yet HUD tells me totally different which makes this,
A lot of miscommunication.
it's frustrating. Because Boston is telling me one thing, this office tells me nothing. People cannot get in to meet with this director. She's a civil servant paid to speak to tenants. The last time there was a tenant rep, or two tenant reps, they were told, don't talk to the people. They were literally told, don't talk to the people. If the people have a problem, you tell them to come to me. But when they try to come to her, you can't see her. And so it's all a bunch of baloney. You really need to look into things, please. You need to stop insulting people. You wonder why people don't want to come to this board and speak up.
Terry, what did you do to us on
And
July
the other
10th
one
last year
insulted
that
both
criticized
me,
all of
her,
us?
and the girl that quit.
Woman,
Woman. Why? What's the difference?
it's a big difference.
Is it?
Big girls, yeah,
Is
big
it?
girls have jobs, pay bills, girls.
I did
no.
not ask Monica,
I never knew that.
Monica to quit. I did not realize that you could be on this board and never have to come to a meeting.
It's not true.
Who was that?
Monica, she never came to a meeting because she had children with special needs. I didn't know her children had special needs. I didn't say anything bad about her, other than, if you're gonna be on this board, every board I've been on, you're only allowed so many absences.
But see, now you're dealing with COVID. So there was, they were able to
Good
Zoom.
God, you and COVID, it's
When was
They were
ridiculous.
filming it.
Monica was on during COVID.
Okay.
No, this wasn't even during COVID, this was, you know, all this information can be sought
Can we
if you
just-
just go to YouTube. I'm telling you, you will find out that I am not a liar. If you would like to check on my character, by all means, go to the senior center, I've been on the board for 10 years, go up to Packagug and talk to the people in Packagug. Truly, I mean that. They need a meeting, we've been asking for a meeting for a long time, and it doesn't get done.
Okay, I think there's some interest in that. I would be glad to do that. I think, Selectman Corain indicated some interest in joining us.
That's not how it's done.
Okay, tell me.
I can have a meeting with the residents and you can all be invited to come
Okay.
But let them speak for themselves.
and let them speak for themselves.
Yeah, that's right.
Let them
That's
speak
right,
for
let them
themselves.
speak for
Yeah, no,
themselves.
I'm,
And let them meet Imani.
Yeah.
And know that she will,
okay.
after a while, understand the dysfunction of this board and this office. And she can make up her own mind on what these tenants, excuse me, I'm speaking.
Excuse me, you criticized me and Sharon, saying we weren't qualified for our job. But on that December 10th meeting, and she had a 3-page report.
I said, you walked around with a list asking me to sign it so you could be a tenant rep.
Representative.
I said to you, Rosie, I am not gonna sign this unless you truly speak up for the tenants. And you said,
It was
you
my
know
first time, I
me,
didn't even know.
I have a big mouth. And then later on, when a tenant went to you, you said, I'm not a tenant rep, I'm here to the sidewalks and roofs.
No, I never said that. I
Oh my
never
God.
said that. Oh my God.
Please come to,
Yeah, no, I think we've agreed that
Please
there'll
come
be
to the
a
village
meeting at Packagug.
and watch back YouTube meetings, and you will understand what you've gotten yourself into.
Okay,
Okay, thank you, Sarah.
Thank you.
we will take
Thank you,
care of it, Terry. That's it.
Okay. Adjournment. Our next meeting is going to be August 5th, was it?
August 5th,
I believe it's August 5th.
I think that's right.
Yeah, at 10 o'clock.
And can I just say one more thing? At one of the meetings I came to, I did ask Lori, can you please post in the laundry room when the meetings are gonna be? She did that for 2 months. Never again after that. So people are not doing their job, and this board needs to understand you are her boss. She didn't post that the selection was gonna be done on that Monday night. That helped her play into her little plan, and it worked. Congratulations.
Okay,
But
we're done.
I've had enough.
No, we're done.
I make a motion that we adjourn. I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None.